Maxx Crosby. He's going to come in at the end, punch it out.
Holmes is sacked by Crosby. His second of the game.
Mad Max. Mad Max. Mad Max.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to our huddle. This is The Rush with Maxx Crosby. I'm your co-host, Brogan Roback, and our two boys that we love with our whole hearts, DT and Creel. Welcome back, boys. It is week 7. Las Vegas Raiders heading on over to Soldier Field, take on the Chicago Bears. Final score 30-12. The Bears took one on top here. We got our brother, like I said, Max, with us. We appreciate you with the long flight. Max, I'm going to kick it over to you, bro. Just thoughts on the game today.
Yeah, 30-12, like you said, it's inexcusable. It's a tough loss. I feel like on all three phases we didn't play well enough to win. We turned the ball over 3 times, which is, all week we talked about not turning the ball over, taking care of the ball, and obviously there's some tip balls, things like that occurred, but defensively we couldn't stop the run well enough. I feel like we just weren't on point from start to finish. I feel like there were moments where we did well, but overall we didn't do enough to win the game. So it's a tough loss, but at the end of the day, we got to bounce back, and that's what it's all about. We won 2 close games before that. And then we took a tough loss to Chicago. So you see around the league, a bunch of teams lost today. A lot of upsets. Patriots go and beat the Bills. A lot of crazy things going on, but that's the NFL. It's that part of the season. Things start getting real. And this one, you got to be at your best. So unfortunately, we lost today, but it's all about how you respond. So we got an extra day of recovery. We're going to Detroit, the 313, right down the road from where obviously all of us went to college. At Eastern, and definitely looking forward to it. I've already watched the game, that we just played a few times, and my mind's already on next week and how I can improve and get better and help the team and personally. But for me, I know I'm gonna be locked in from start to finish, and it starts tomorrow. The recovery process already started. You already know I was on the Normatec stretching, getting my mind right, and I'm here with y'all now. So we're looking forward to it. It's a tough day, but you could dwell on it. You could let it affect the next day. But for me, I'm already on to Detroit. I'm ready to go. We just got to correct some things and, keep improving.
For sure. No, we appreciate you kind of opening up and letting us all in. I know it's tough coming off a loss, but, that's what you're going to get here at The Rush, no matter what, win or loss. So let's take it here. A lot of people don't know you have never been to Chicago, let alone play there. Soldier Field, Chicago, a huge sports city. I know you appreciate that, being a sports fanatic, just like the rest of us are. I don't know if anyone peeped your pregame fit though. You had the Jordan. What was that against Cleveland back in the day? That was a tough fit. I like that. That was nice. A little shout out, a little tribute to the city. But more importantly, like I said, it's a city, like a big city town, big sports town. And what was it like, the environment there? Was it what you expected? Just thoughts on being in Soldier Field in Chicago in general.
Yeah, I thought it was dope. We drove around the day before, went and saw Soldier Field, on Saturday, and you just see people all around the city. Like, people are ready for the game. It's one of the biggest sports towns in the country. So, I gotta, I gotta definitely, pay my respect to Chicago because the fans were crazy. The environment was nuts, and it was even better than I expected. So, for me, like you said, I'm a sports fiend. So, anytime I get to go to a city like that, you get in that environment, you just feel the energy in the building. So, yeah, it was dope. Obviously, we didn't get the result we wanted, but, overall, it was a dope experience.
It might be kind of goofy, but I don't care. I'm going to ask anyways. But when you step into Chicago and you're wearing the Jordan piece on you, is there something inside of you that truly does want to show up and play? Do you feel like, there's been so many greats, not just in football, who have played on that field, which there have been absolute legends on that field, but also even just in basketball, obviously the Cubs, all that. But does that make you want to up your play because so many great legends and players, Hall of Famers, have been there in all sports?
No, 100%. From a personal level, I thought about it all week. Dick Butkus just passed away. You got
R.I.P.
Doug Atkins, who played, R.I.P. Doug Atkins, a legend, played in the 60s and 70s, one of the best D linemen ever play. You got so many guys. You can go on and on. Mike Singletary. Then you got to talk about Michael Jordan. Jordan's one of my biggest inspirations. So, I had to rock the fit and definitely represent. So, personally, going out there, I definitely wanted to show out, and I definitely, I feel like I did some good things, and there's definitely some room to grow as well. So, for me, every time I step out there, I'm trying to improve and outdo myself the week before. And today, I definitely, I feel like I did some really good things, but it wasn't enough. Every single week, it's never enough. I never got it. So I've already, like I said, watched the film 3 times already. I know what I can improve on. I know what I could have done better. There's some things I could definitely build off of. And I just got to keep improving. But yeah, being in the city, being in Chicago, I was like, yeah, this is definitely, I got to come out here and show out. And, my guy, Tim Grover, we've become, obviously close over these past, this past offseason. He's Michael Jordan and Kobe's trainer. So we've became a lot closer. And he was at the game on the sideline. And I got to chop it up with him before the game. So yeah, we've become real close. And, he was texting me all week, leading up to it. And yeah, I was definitely hyped up and ready to go.
I love it. And I don't know if you're willing to open up in this regard, but you kind of just said it. There's a lot of stuff. You watch a film three times, right? I'm already knowing that's probably what took place the whole flight home. But for you personally, you say there's a lot that you can be better at. People from home watch you tear up. You get a sack tonight again, which is awesome for the big sack moments, which we're going to hit on. But to you, that Nate Diaz flex, boy. But for you, Max, like when you watch the film, what is something you personally felt like you did do well, but something that you also thought, man, I could do better? Because there's always room for growth. You're always looking to be 1% better every single day. I know that about you. So just curious what you took from the film. Yeah,
100%. I feel like rushing-wise, I had, a handful of really good rushes. The toughest thing about it is like, that people really don't understand unless you know football is like, when you're playing a team like that you know is going to try to run the ball and you don't stop the run. I think they ran for 170 yards on the game. It doesn't allow you to really pin your ears back and go rush, and your opportunities are very limited. So, at the end of the half, we finally got a couple opportunities to rush, and we got home. And we were getting home, on back-to-back plays. Tyree got the strip sack right, the play after I got mine. So, yeah, it's just like, for me, I know there was a lot of things, running past that I did well, but also there's a couple of plays I pressed and try to do too much. Just trying to, in a game like that where we're down, you can't go out there and overdo anything. You can't forget your technique and go out there and try to be Superman. You just got to trust your work and trust your process. So yeah, there's a couple of plays that definitely, I wish I could have back, but it's something I could look forward to, correcting and then, putting it on display, in Detroit.
Absolutely. So let's just jump into it now, right? Let's get into the game. A little bit of a slow start, but coming off a 2-game stretch here, you guys are on a 2-win streak. The Bears obviously are struggling, or were struggling, pretty hard. Knowing that they're going to come in for a dogfight, I'm sure you guys knew you need to get off to a hot start. But for you guys to go down, good drive to begin with, and then obviously Carlson unfortunately misses the field goal. Let me ask you this, though. Does a game coming back over here on the Eastern time zone, playing at 1 o'clock, that's got to be a little bit different for you guys, though, right? Like you're waking up earlier in the morning. The game is normally, that's 10 o'clock your guys' time for people that don't know back home in Vegas. So for you, like, is your routine any different? Do you think that has anything to do with like kind of coming out slower when you come over to the east side, especially because you're going to be back here next week? So kind of curious, man. Like, is that had anything to do with it, or just thoughts on playing that early?
Yeah, there's always, everybody's got their own theory about the travel and what, we should do when we're going, across the country, East Coast, Midwest, anything like that. There's a million different theories, but, for us, I feel like we had a good, week of preparation leading up to it. I feel like the travel was solid. We went out there. We went on the field the day before. Everyone was trying to adjust and get their body ready to go. So, yeah, like, it's going to be an extra challenge, traveling that much and going out there to go play a game. But, for me, it's all mental. Like, I'm not overthinking it like, all right, am I going to – it's like, no, stick to my routine. I have a routine. It might be slightly different on the road because of the time and the little change. And I'm in a different hotel and everything like that. But I just stay dialed in and just prepare and be, put myself in the best position to go out there and succeed. So, yeah, as a team – that's something, we got to continue to look at because we obviously have some more, road games. We go back to Detroit this week. So, yeah, we just got to find a way to stay locked in from start to finish. It's a 3.5-hour game. No matter what, we're going to be out on that field. And the rest we're getting is, not the most ideal, but it doesn't matter. You got to find a way to make up for it during the week leading up to it. So yeah, that's something everybody's got to evaluate, coaches and players, and it really doesn't matter. I feel like it's a mindset at the end of the day, and you got to go out there and figure out a way to put yourself in the best position to succeed.
For sure. No, and so I guess it's kind of weird because prep-wise, I'm very curious on how you guys would prepare for this week, knowing that Fields is not in there. And then now you guys are trying to prepare for Tyler Baggett. Baggett? Am I saying that right, boys? Baggett? I
believe so.
But how do you prepare for someone like that with absolutely limited film? D2 coming from Tiny Shepherd, I believe, so shout out to D2. But, I mean, he played fairly well, no crazy yards or anything like that, but did enough efficient-wise. But curious, how did you guys prep for him? What were you guys anticipating him to be good at, not so good at, positions you wanted to maybe get him in, or he might be more, vulnerable in those situations?
Yeah, anytime you see a young quarterback step in, the coaches want to take the pressure off of them. So we, going into it, we knew they were going to try to get the run game going. They've already, obviously have a good running game in general already, so we knew that was coming. And then on top of it, you got to think about play actions, some easy throws, some quick game, some, misdirection, like jet sweeps and things like that. And they kind of hit us with all that right out the gate. So, yeah, I feel like they had, they did a pretty good job. But yeah, he's a young athletic quarterback, and he's pretty talented. So yeah, I think he did a good job. We just, when it really comes down to it, it's all about us, and that's what we talk about. It's like we weren't at our best. So, regardless of the fact, we weren't at our best, and we weren't able to put them in multiple predictable 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 7s, and and actually get to rush. It was just like majority of the time, they're ahead of the chains. They're getting the run game going. We, couldn't get a beat on what, they were doing because it was just we weren't doing a good enough job on 1st and 2nd down. So, that's all on us, and we just got to look at it, evaluate, and just keep moving forward and, correct the mistakes, but build off of what we did well, going into Detroit.
Yeah, I'm curious, kind of like Pat McAfee says, I wonder if he was jocked. Was he jocked? Was he pretty jocked, dude? His dad is a, 20-time or 30-time arm wrestling champion, bro. Like, left-handed.
Ambidextrous champion, too.
Yeah,
bro, both.
What?
He's
That's
ambidextrous. Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Good thing you didn't get under piles. You guys weren't forearm yanking down there or anything, because you probably would have took the L. A lot of practice at home with the old man. So, Max. Hey, D, what? Darian, elbow down on the table. Get your mind out of the gutters. Max.
Who's sitting at the head of the table for dinner, huh?
Yeah. Hey, this is for dessert, Tyler.
Yeah.
Do you want it or do you not? So, hey, cool. No, but moving on, Max. There's a pretty cool stat that came out tonight. I'm not sure if you're aware of it or not, but 233 consecutive defensive plays or snaps played for you. That is the largest streak in the NFL since 2016. I think, who is it? Oliveira, or how do you say his name?
Who was it?
Olivier Vernon.
Olivier Vernon.
There it
Thank
was.
you. Look at you.
Yeah.
You might be keeping up with the tabs. So I don't know if you're going for the Iron Man award, which Joe Thomas, that's the only person that comes to mind when I think of Iron Man, someone who plays a shit ton of snaps. But is that something that we know how well you take care of your body? We saw you stretching in the Calvin Klein's last weekend. But is this something that you take pride in when you hear a stat like that? It just feels like there's a new stat every single weekend with you.
Yeah, for me, I had no idea that was a stat that they were tracking or anything like that until someone sent it to me after the game. For me, I talked about it, last week and the week before. It's like, if I can go out there and play every single snap and give our team the best chance to win, like, I'm going to do it every single time. So, yeah, it's a little bit, unorthodox for a DN to be doing it, but I don't train like a DN, you know what I mean? I run with the DBs in the offseason. I do a ton of different things to, separate myself from everybody else, and, I do it year round. So, yeah, I have the ability to do it, and I feel great. And at the end of the day, if I'm gonna be out there, if I can go, if I can run, I got 2 feet, you know what I mean, 2 arms, I'm good to go. So, yeah, it is what it is. I just, got to keep moving, and if I got to play every single snap, I know I can do it. It's not like I'm out there gassed or anything like that. I'm just, going out there and trying to do everything I can to help us win.
Yeah, and I'm going to only stay from your side of the ball. Obviously, we're not going to start talking about the people on the offense side of the ball because you're focused on one thing only, and that's obviously to stop the Chicago Bears. So let me ask you this. Is there anything that the Bears were doing from an offense standpoint or schematically that you noticed, to be successful on their end, or was there anything that you picked up on that they were trying to drive home over and over, right? Last week we saw the Patriots getting the ball out quick, sideline to sideline. What were the Bears doing today that you noticed, whether they were successful or not on it?
Yeah, I feel like, like we talked about earlier, they did a lot of, like, their run game is unique. They like to stack a lot of tight ends and get on the perimeter. And so they did a lot of different things from cracking with receivers and tight ends and, misdirections and jet sweeps. And it was just like a mixture of all that, in one. So, yeah, I feel like they did a good job. They had a good game plan. And yeah, you got to give it credit to their, coaching staff, and they were definitely prepared. They came out ready to go, and for us, it wasn't enough. We would have a couple stops here and there, and then they would have a long drive and go down and score. So it's just like, our defense has been getting better and better, and I feel like, just overall, like, we can't go in, to games and overthink things. I think we just need to do what we do best and just, play our game. At the end of the day, we're going to play a bunch of different teams, but it's all about us. We got to play our brand of football and not let, the other team determine, what we're doing.
Absolutely. No, I'm going to say it, but I so you don't have to. Even just from the other side, man, Josh has been getting going week in, week out. But I just would love to just start seeing him getting, a little bit more touches, but getting him in a more creative way, just seeing a little bit more play action first down, maybe getting him out there on second and third, getting the linebackers to drop out of the box a little more and then get that play action opened up. So I know it's not up to you. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to. But, Hoyer goes in today. Aiden comes in at the end of the game. What do you think both guys bring to the table? Like what do they do very well? And then what does this team need moving forward, right? We need an offensive spark. Obviously, defense needs to keep playing well and then pick up their play. Just offensively and overall as a team, what do you think the team needs to focus on here heading into the next week?
Yeah, I think it's just capitalizing when we need to. We had opportunities, but we just didn't capitalize. There's, you could point to a bunch of plays, but it just wasn't enough to win, especially on the road. You're already at a disadvantage, so you got to be on point. And we had 3 turnovers, and it can't happen. So it's simple as that. It's just taking care of the ball, and just continuously looking for ways to improve. And like you said, like Josh is obviously a great running back. The O-line is working hard. We just got to find ways to, get him going, because he has, there's spurts and moments where he's rolling. We're using him more in the passing game, which is, been awesome. Josh talks about all the time. He wants to be able, be a full, complete back, and he definitely is. So, everybody just got to be better, from players and coaches. We all talked about it in the locker room. Like, it's all about us, and there's nobody's gonna come in and save us. It's the guys we got in the building and in the locker room, and we just got to continue to improve. It's obviously a tough loss. We didn't plan on coming in there and losing and playing the way we did, but we got to watch the film and just move forward from it and not let it affect the next game. We just got to restart, refresh everything, get our bodies right, and just get our minds right, and go out there with the attitude in Detroit, and just go out there and do our best to go get a dub.
Facts. We need the boys out there just playing, buzzing around, flying around. Everyone knows how to play the game, man. Been doing it our whole lives, their whole lives. So trust the instincts, be prepared, and go out there and execute 100%. So obviously, highlight of the moment, our highlight of the day. We're going to take it over. DT, please bring out that big old sack for us. Please, will you, brother?
Big sack. Come on.
Big sack.
Big sack.
Show me your big sack.
All right, Wab. Second quarter is winding down. In the first half, you got about 20 seconds left, 15, 20 seconds left. Second and 10. We just crossed over to the 50-yard line. All right. We get to see and talk about our boy, Adam Butler, as always. I feel like it's every week I get to talk about this fucking guy. I'm a fan now. I'm a fan.
Can we get him on the pod, please? If he's going to just be a recurring like this.
I mean, honestly,
Definitely.
I'll give him the dog of the day for this. All right, so I don't have that power, guys, so don't worry. So we'll go over to we got another game, okay? But instead this time he is going to hold up the guard. You're going to be the one that's crossing face, and then you're able to cross face, come behind the quarterback, chase him down for the sack. Another great thing that Adam Butler did is he engaged the guard, took 2 steps, got the guard to kind of sit, right? Yeah. You took a nice big get-off step, right? You're 1-2, tackle bails, and you were able to cross face and pick that guard off. He was the looper. Kind of talk about that dynamic and why it's so important, because a lot of the times we've seen it, it's been the opposite way around, right? He's the one that's picking, and then you're able to come free. You picked and were able to get the sack. So walk us through that.
Yeah, in that situation, it was right before the half. We didn't want to get him, let him get a field goal, right before the half. We were finally getting a little bit of momentum on the defensive side. So, Adam, of course, me and him are always communicating. And he, we talked about it before the drive. And he was like, let's get this U game. If we get the back and the tight end's away, let's get this U game or exit or whatever you want. Doing exactly what we're supposed to do, you should win every single time. And, for us, that's really what it comes down to. We do it in practice. We do it a million times over and over and over again. And, as me, being the guy who's picking, a lot of times, the games don't work when your eyes light up. You're like, oh my God, there's room in there, and you forget to pick, and Adam isn't able to cover, and then the game doesn't work. But, I seen the back of the guard, I seen his ribs, and I'm like, motherfucker, and I cracked him. I got a piece of him and just got vertical. And Adam covered me. The quarterback held the ball, and I was able to, track down the quarterback, get a big sack. So, yeah, in a situation like that, we needed it, and we got a sack. And then the next play, it puts him in a Hail Mary situation instead of a field goal. And then Tyree was able to run down and get a strip sack on Nate Peterman. Guy comes in for 1 rep to go throw a deep ball, and he ends up former Raider, and he ends up holding the ball, and Tyree ran him down and got a sack. So it was literally, we got a sack back-to-back plays going into the half. So, our energy was good, going into the half, and, that play was definitely big. But, yeah, you got to give a shout-out to Adam Butler. The dude is always on point. He's a rush coordinator. The guy is always thinking about what we need to do and what's going to work for certain sets and certain, blocking schemes. And, it's just another example.
Got to respect it. And, I mean, the Selly afterwards, it's a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah. The Ken Griffey.
Maxx, is there for you as a DN, is there in the NBA, there's a duo, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, Kobe and Shaq. Is there a same thing going on there with you and Adam Butler? Are you guys like a duo? You guys are setting each other up constantly. Is there just a good, more than a friendship you guys have out there? He's a great teammate, obviously, but do you guys just click IQ-wise when it comes to football and a lot of nonverbals? I don't know if people understand that. Can you guys give each other just eyes and what's going on? Similar to a quarterback and receiver?
No, 100%. Me and him, we talk all week. We send each other clips. We go through it in practice. We walk our steps. What's going to work versus this team? How do they set? What do we think is going to work? That's literally our conversation all week. And, he's a student of the game. I'm a student of the game. And it's just, having a guy like that I don't even, me and him just know, all right, if the back's coming over here, we don't have a tight end, we know what we're doing. And, he's always got a good jump on what he thinks is the best idea for us as a front four to run. And, we were just on the same page. We had games earlier, we looked at each other and I'll just call out a game. It wasn't planned. It's nothing. It's all right, I'm seeing this. Boom, we're calling this. And then Adam does the same thing. And then, we're just always constantly trying to stay, ahead, step ahead on the O-line. So, yeah, Adam is a dog. And, we just are – what's the word? I'm losing the word. Our
synergy. Our
synergy, our on-pointness is just there, and we're continuing to grow that every day. But that started all the way back in OTAs, and we're still building it every day. So yeah, it's definitely an honor and a privilege to play with a dude like that who's unselfish, and he doesn't care if he gets a sack. He just wants to make sure we're all succeeding. So yeah, big props to Adam.
Quick question. Now, do you guys have in those situations? I know a lot of them seem to be based off schematics, right? you see the formation, something happens, or they send a motion, whatever it may be. You guys have the autonomy to really, when you see that, to make these games and make these calls, no matter, and I don't want to say no matter what the defensive call is, but it seems that it always works out that you guys are able to make a split-second decision.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's something you got to earn, and me and Adam have earned the right to do that. When we feel like it's necessary. It's not always 100%, but at the same time, we have the trust in each other. No matter what, we're gonna make it work. So, yeah, the coach gives us the freedom. Coach Leonard, Pat, all the whole crew. So, in certain moments we just feel it. It's more just feel, like the Chargers game when we talked about, it's second down. That it was just an overcall, and we're just running base defense. But I got the tight end to me. The tackle's been jumping out. All right, I just look at Adam, hit that, and that's it. And we just run the game, and boom, and it works. So we just have that synergy, like you said, and we just we trust our work, and the coaches give us that freedom. So it's definitely something we're working on. I feel like we're improving every week.
That's a great question, D, because I don't think a lot of people think about it from a defensive end standpoint or even D-line standpoint of them being able to make those checks. I call them checks, at least coming from like the quarterback standpoint. You have so many nuances in offense. I see a certain coverage. I'm going to check this guy maybe to a box fade, no help over top, cover zero. But it's crazy you don't think that D-line are doing the same thing. They know the game so well. They know their defensive scheme down to a point that, hey, we can make games inside of a game, like Maxx loves to hit on saying. But it's really cool. That was a great question. I just think it's awesome insight because most people probably think it's dialed up from Pat Graham, but a lot of the times it's you guys playing ball. You guys are the coaches on the field making those calls too. So I think it's really cool.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I think Krill has a question for you, Maxx.
Yeah. All right. What's up, brother? Yo, it was like 4th and 1, middle of the second quarter, coming up, a couple plays right before your sack. Me being a Pittsburgh fan, obviously, you did the Troy Polamalu on the 4th and 1 and jumped over like on the pile and almost smoked out the QB. Is that something that you knew from the jump it was going to be a QB sneak? Part 1 of the question. And then part 2, were you anticipating the QB sneak? And then did you know you were going to jump over the pile and try and time up the snap?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely had a feel, that the QB sneak was coming just by the formation and how it was. And yes, I definitely, in our scheme, I've had to fight some coaches about it, but
They were like,
I'm a jumper. I've had a few stops on it. I had one versus Philly a couple years ago. I had one last year versus Chargers. This year versus Chargers, just going over the top.
Sure.
But it's more about just like timing and feel. And I know those linemen are just going to be diving down. And a lot of the times, everyone talks about the tush push, but that's what everyone's doing nowadays. But for me, it's if you stay low and you get a hold of that motherfucker and just pull him back and take all your weight. Yeah, you can just straight dead weight him. So it's about timing and being the first to the punch. So yeah, today he ended up like moving all the way out to like the B gap. And I kind of missed him. Yeah, my arm, I kind of like slapped him on the head, but they ended up getting it. But yeah, I was trying to time it and get the jump, but I felt like the jump was great. He just moved out the way.
He was like kind of just out of position slightly.
Yeah, he kind of snuck in, and the tackle like came in and tried to like hit me in midair. So my body, I watched it on film a few times. I was laughing because my body just fucking went tornadoing down into the ground, and just a part of it. But yeah, that's something I do, often.
Sure, and then one more question for you. What's going to be your biggest improvement that you're going to focus on this week moving forward going up to Detroit?
Yeah, for me, it's all about the details. Pad level, get off, eyes, keys, hands, and feet. As simple as that. Just taking it one play at a time and being at my best, not letting the play before affect my next play. So yeah, for me, it's just back to the basics in every single way. From pass rush to the run game. And just about being detailed with everything I do, from my moves to my hand placement to my my shed, my release, just not seeing too much and just trusting my keys. That's really what it comes down to. So we know Detroit, they have a good old line. They've been playing pretty well for the most part, and it's going to be a big challenge. So we got to be ready. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I can't wait to get out there.
Okay, so perfect transition. Now we're obviously on to Detroit. Let's just throw this film away, right? Let's move on. But some things that people don't know, or most things people don't know, is that you're born and raised from Michigan, right? Right down the street from where I'm living right here currently, Lapeer, right? Is it Lapeer, Max?
Yes, sir. Yep,
Yes,
Lapeer.
sir. So what's it mean to you just coming back to a place that you spent early childhood at? I know you're obviously spent your time in Texas, second part of your life, but what's it mean to be back here? The home roots, the family. I know all the Serbian blood is going to be in full attendance and strong.
No, of course. It's definitely something I've been looking forward to. I don't circle one game on the calendar. I circle every game. But, it's definitely going to be a little bit, extra motivation to go out there and be at my best. Playing Monday Night Football in Detroit. It's my first time playing at Ford Field. My whole family, for the most part, lives in Michigan still, in the Metro Detroit. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I got, obviously, all the Eastern Eagles, are probably going to be coming through, hopefully. So, yeah, it's just going to be a crazy weekend. I can't wait. We got to, obviously we got to get a big win. But having everybody, all my loved ones, like you said, the Serbians, the Albanians, the Macedonians, the whole crew coming out, it's just bring them all. Yeah, all of Yugoslavia is going to be in attendance. So we're definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a ball. It just it gives me a little bit extra motivation that I go out there and go be at my absolute best.
100%. I think the Joker might be in attendance all the way from Denver. That'd be pretty badass. He's obviously a fan of the pod too. If he hasn't seen it yet, it will. We'll just get a few horse ads in here, and he'll be all pumped up.
Yes.
You touched on it. EMU
Yes.
Yes.
Couple horse ads.
Yes.
Whatever
You don't
that
even
means.
tune in.
Yeah.
But you talked about it. Eastern Michigan. Creighton is probably more than likely going to have the whole entire student body there, not just the team. Probably the student body supporting his own. There's no love like being at your alma mater. Can you just talk about Eastern Michigan? Obviously, it's near and dear to all of our hearts. But just for you to be able back there in front of the Eastern Michigan fans, but more importantly, what is it like for you to be a superstar that came from Eastern Michigan and what they gave you and just your time there?
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me. Like, if I didn't get that offer from Eastern, I wouldn't be here right now. Creighton and McCaslin at the time, all of them, they are the ones that gave me an opportunity. So, just to be honest, like, without Eastern, I wouldn't be here. It's pretty simple. They gave me an opportunity when nobody else did, and I went there when I was 17 years old. I was a bald face. Absolute, bleached hair. I was a whole different headband. I was out there just being an animal. But I just had to, it's a reminder that, like, no matter where you come from, no matter where you start at, it doesn't matter. Eastern is always gonna, obviously hold a big place in my heart. I got right here, I can't flip my camera, but I got my Eastern Michigan Scout Team Player of the Year, plaque. Big in the room, it's my favorite award. But that's really what it started from. Like, literally, when I got there, we were 1-11. Literally, they had a whole E60 on how they're gonna shut down the program, and we're like, damn, like, this is about to be a wrap. But obviously, all of us and the other guys that came in, we literally turned the whole thing around. And Creighton, was the key factor behind it. Creighton was super hard on us. We all know that. But, at the end of the day, I appreciate him for all the shit he did because, I look back and I realize, like, he did it for a reason. So, I know he's definitely going to be there. And I would not be surprised if he brings the whole 25,000, student body out to attend, the Lions game. So it's going to be legendary, bro. I cannot wait.
It's been
Absolutely.
circled.
Oh, yeah.
It's been circled. The glow up is definitely real. So for Eastern, Max, you remember we took a trip down there when we were trying to get ready because that's where the MAC championship is at. Obviously, we never had the ability to do so. People also don't know, when you got recruited by Eastern, wasn't it to be a tight end also? People forget. You wanted to be on the other side of the ball.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Low-key.
Yeah, for sure.
And they forget that we actually had a play to bring you in to catch a pass, a little like J.J. Watt type shit when he was going absolutely dummy for the Texans.
Oh my God.
We had you. I think you guys had a huge turnover playing Miami, Ohio. You're on the bench. We had this play called. Do you remember what it was called? Sidewalk Slammer. I just remember.
Sidewalk
Yes.
Slammer. Yes, bro.
We're
And it was
screaming
Aaron
Sidewalk
Keene. I think that came up with it.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron Keene.
We practiced it after practice every day.
100%. Yes, we did.
We really
And that
did.
shit was money too. I was ready. Me and Brogan would throw the ball around all the time after practice, do our things. I'll do one-on-ones with the DBs and just they would throw fades, and I'm out there trying to dunk on
100%.
everybody. But yeah,
Yes.
I was ready for that moment. Yeah, people don't even know, but yeah, I thought I was gonna be a tight end legitimately, like coming into college. Like Eastern was one of the only camps that I went as a DN. Like I did DN and tight end at the camp, but all the other camps, like I went to FCS schools and all shit like that, and I was doing tight end stuff for the most part. So yeah, it's crazy because I played linebacker my whole life, and then my senior year I ended up playing DN for the first time because I got fucking 4 inches taller. So yeah, it's just crazy how shit works out. But I definitely prefer being on the defensive side and being on the hunt instead of being hunted. So yeah, that's it works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, they were
you got
afraid to let you be
You said
great.
you have this. You said you had the scout team player of the year award on the wall up there.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I have to say this. This is a moment that we always get, and it's nice, right? We get to sit here and watch games on Sundays, and Hercom and I, we'll all talk, and we'll say, we are where we belong, right? Right here on the couch watching some of these guys playing on Sunday. But it's funny to see so many guys that we played against still playing on Sundays. And I'm going to spin that back to we would get bitched out because we're somehow, getting beat by these guys that are playing on Sundays. And I'll never forget when we were playing, it was on scout team, and Maxx, of course, was on scout team against us, and was going absolutely insane, right? We're fucking dead tired. You do inside run, you do individual with Grubb.
Some shit don't
Shout
change.
out to Grubb.
Shout
Killing
out
it
to Grubb.
at Washington. Him and
Yep.
DeBoer and
out
Coach
to
Mack,
DeBoer.
all of them.
Eastern
But
products.
he,
That's one.
I mean, the man bitched us out so hard. He said, he is 210 pounds soaking wet, whooping your guys' ass. I'm on some. He should be on the other side of the field, fucking playing on
Swear.
defense, not over here beating our ass.
Swear.
I swear. And now look at us. Fast forward 7 years, and who was right? Who was right?
Hey,
Shit.
it's crazy. No, it's honestly crazy, bro. Every time I went to scout team, I was like, this is my fucking game day, bro. I'm going to go out here and try to ruin their days.
You
And
did.
yeah, it was fun. And it's crazy. Freaking Wiley was the right tackle. Obviously, Cole and all those guys. Like, it didn't matter. They would put me on the car. They'd be like, all right, go upfield on this. I'm literally out there just freestyling.
No.
Figuring out how to play. It was my first time, like, really figuring out how to play defensive end. So, like, that's why I put the Scout Team Player of the Award, Scout Team Player of the Year award up, because, like, that was when I learned, like, how to rush and how to move my body and how to get on the edge. And, like, I literally was just out there, like, just figuring it out. And, every time we went out there, it was a war, and I knew you guys fucking hated me. But I remember so vividly because I was going in OTAs super hard without pads and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember texting DT because, like, I don't know, word got to me that y'all, like, fucking wanted to kill me and were gonna try to take me out. And I remember that. I remember texting DT. I was like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that y'all are going to try to injure me. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to fucking go out there and injure somebody, but y'all need to fucking relax because I'm not trying to get my knee taken out. And DT is like, bro, we would never in a million fucking years. But I remember that floating around. I'm like, these motherfuckers, bro.
Dude,
I'm like, I'm going to go out here and try to terrorize them.
He
I'll
just
never
came
forget
out. It was during summer workouts, and we would do, like, freshman orientation type work, OTAs. We're doing workouts.
Yeah.
And Maxx would just be out there with his fucking headband on, and we're just doing like one set stops. Maxx is fucking sprinting and fucking pulling everybody, and yeah. And I remember I got that text, and I'm like, we are the last people in the world that are gonna cut anybody, let alone in fucking summer OTAs.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, bro. I'll literally never forget that. That shit was classic.
I'll never forget the really cool knee braces you guys wore too on the offensive line.
Yeah, they were super fucking dope, and they worked, huh? They
Down
worked
to your
really
ankles,
well.
just sliding down. Yeah, I know you guys rock those really well.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah,
for sure.
surgery every year.
It stink.
Darian's favorite.
God.
Humble beginnings.
To be hanging outside to dry between 2 days.
Still wet.
Just hanging on the goalpost, just drying out.
That's unbelievable.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's camp life and humble beginnings. Also, humble beginnings for the Lions. They smelled for like 45 million years, but now they're actually playing. They're playing good ball. Obviously, today they take a tough one, 38-6. What are you looking ahead? What are you anticipating on seeing from them? What do you see as them from a team? What is their identity in your eyes from a defensive standpoint? And how excited are you to get out there and really shake them down?
Yeah, I think it all starts with the head coach. Dan Campbell. I got a ton of respect for him. The dude's an absolute dog, and you could see how they play. It's a direct reflection of him. Coach Marinelli, he told me a good story. It was a couple weeks ago when he was out here before the Packers game, and I was happened to bring up Dan Campbell or whatever, talking about the Lions, and he actually coached Dan Campbell in Detroit when he was the Lions head coach. And he said he was exactly how he is as a head coach. He was a fucking dog. And it's kind of crazy, just thinking about it. But he was like a hard blocking tight end. He was out there getting in scraps all the time. And I'm like, yeah, he's a guy that I definitely, I'm going against him this week. But like at the end of the day, I know me and him, like if we were to go at it back, if I were back in his day, like we would definitely get into it. So a guy like that, I got a ton of respect for. You just see it in the way they play. They're flying around. Offensively, they have a great offensive coordinator, and they like to balance it up. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball. They like to get everybody involved. So yeah, they definitely present a lot of challenges. But a team like that, you just got to be at your best. It's simple as that. They've won a lot of games. I think they're 5-2 right now, and they're doing a lot of good things. So at the end of the day, we just got to be at our best, and it's really going to be who's the best on Sunday. Or Monday. But yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge. I can't wait. They got a good old line, a lot of talent, a lot of talented players on the offense in general. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait.
He's definitely fucking jacked. So you guys definitely would have went at it if you back in the day, especially two old school guys, because your play is literally translated back to the 80s, I swear. And obviously his hard nose is a way that he delivers the message to his team. They obviously live vicariously or play through him, I should say. Who is the most jock fucking coach in the NFL, though? Who is like the most fit? Him?
It's got to be.
Maybe?
Salah's sturdy. DeMeco Ryans, former player. He probably could definitely fuck most of the coaches up.
Vrabel, like 10 years ago, maybe.
No, I think Vrabel could definitely.
He can still bang. You don't want to say
Vrabel's a dog.
Yeah,
Vrabel's a dog.
Yeah,
no
he has
doubt.
that little switch. So
Vrabel played back in the day where
like
they just like piss on people in the showers, like and not care. Like they're sending messages.
What?
Leak story. I heard it allegedly.
Yeah.
He would just piss on people.
Well, that took a turn. Yeah, that definitely took a turn. But if there was a celebrity boxing match that I would love to watch, and I definitely would pay probably $80 for the pay-per-view, it would be fucking Dan Campbell versus Mike Vrabel. I feel like that would be a dog fight. Dog fight.
I pay $80 for the pay-per-view.
Oh,
yeah,
100%. I definitely wouldn't get the
Fuck the Paul
illegal
brothers.
stream.
I'll
No.
never order their
I'm
shit
getting that
ever.
for
But you
that.
put those two mutants in there, I'm all about it.
Bro, what? You put Vrabel and Dan Campbell?
I'm
That's going to
all
be
on
a
it.
fucking... It's going to be an
And it
absolute...
can't be a boxing
They're
match.
so fucking... They're so crazy,
Bare
they're
knuckle.
not going to let themselves stop.
No, yeah,
That's
one
why
of
they
them,
gotta be in a
somebody's
cage.
gonna die or both of them. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It should be bare knuckle,
Call Dana.
locked
Yeah,
in a
get
cage.
Dana.
Honestly, we need to call Dana. Let's get him on the phone. This is
Call to Dana.
we're on to something.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
We have
Uncle
NFL
D.
coaches.
Yes,
Well, let's get to it
that
because
would be legendary.
I'm hearing a little.
Fuck up, Darian.
Let's get to it, D. Let's do the dog of the day,
guess.
huh, Max?
Yeah, we're gonna do the dog of the day right now. Obviously, it wasn't our day overall, so we had to really take a deep look and who this person was gonna be. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but he might have already been the dog of the day before. But it's got to be
Two-timer, right?
He's a two-timer. I think Jacoby was a two-timer, or maybe I'm wrong.
He hasn't. He
Maybe
should
I'm wrong.
been. He's been in the conversation.
he's
every
been in the
time.
conversation.
Every
Okay.
week. He's
I'm
put
wrong.
On board, baby.
I'm wrong, but we're putting him on the board.
Laid him in.
This guy, he could have won it every single week. I feel like Jacoby Myers. Obviously, we picked him up. He's a new Raider. We got him in free agency from New England. But this dude, every single week, is always balling out, and he's one of those guys I talked about. He's not a typical receiver. He's down to do the dirty work. He's crack blocking, downfield, hustling, finding a way to just help the team win. And that's the guys that you want on your team, to be successful. So Jacoby today, 7 catches, 50 yards, a touchdown. I feel like he's got 5 touchdowns now, so damn near a touchdown a game. He's one of those guys that's always open. He's always catching contested balls, and he's a baller. So got to give my respect to Jacoby. He's the fucking man. He's a quiet assassin, but he goes out there and he's definitely our dog of the day. So big shout out to Jacoby.
About
He's a
time
beast.
he
He's
got it.
balling.
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah, he's
been
balling.
chopping.
There's no doubt
Week in
about
and week
that.
out.
He's been chopping.
Yes, he has. Chopper.
Okay.
All right, let's get a little fan mail, a little fan engagement. Oh, really quick, guys. Fan engagement. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Flooding the DMs, flooding anywhere that you possibly can to get a message across to the one and only Maxx. We appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment down below. We appreciate the love, the support. It's massive. And as you already know, Maxx is going to be giving away down below. Maxx is going to be giving away 2 signed jerseys from himself. Obviously, let's not get crazy here. He's going to give away 2 of them. And
Two-piece.
but the only way he's going to do that, give us that 2-piece, is if we get 10,000 subscribers. We're already trending that way, so let's get to that number. Continue to like, subscribe, comment down below. We appreciate the love. Seriously, we appreciate you guys, and thanks for coming on the journey with us. DT, let's get into a little bit of the Rushman fan mail.
3 questions today. All right. First Rushman is from is Klebensky's. Klebensky said, "What does it mean to Maxx to be a Raider? What qualities or attitudes should a Raider have?"
Ooh, that's a hard hitting question. For me, being a Raider is a way of life. For me, it's a lifestyle. It's not just putting the shield on, showing up, playing football games. For me, I look up to all the guys that did it before me: the George Atkinsons, the Howie Longs, all the greats before me, Charles Woodson's. It's really a lifestyle. You see these fans, the way they react, the way that they show up to all the away games. Every single time they show out, they go all the way. There's no such thing as like, oh yeah, I'm a Raider fan. It's like, no, these dudes and women are all die hard. Like there's no in between. So I got so much love for the fan base. And what being a Raider for me is every single day showing up with an attitude to get better and just being a dog, being that black sheep, not being like everybody else. For us, I play that way. I want to show that and put that on display every time I go out there. I'm not just playing, to go out there and do my job. I'm out there to prove a point. And, no matter what it is, I'm standing 10 toes with whoever it is. If it's one dude, if it's 10 other guys that are trying to jump me on the field in a joint practice, that's what being a Raider is to me, standing my ground, just being an absolute dog. And I try to embody that and embrace it every single day. Not just on Sundays, but in the building, in weight room, in practice. That's what being a Raider is to me, is being that same guy, being that dog, being the bad boy, like the bad boy Pistons back in the day, the Bill Laimbeer type style, not taking shit from anybody and just being the best version of yourself. That's what being a Raider is to me.
Next Rushman up, we got T. Kiesel.
T. Kiesel.
He said, "Who are you taking for your flag football team in the Olympics?" Not to, a lot of people might not know, little current events. They have now put flag football into the Olympics. So
I just saw Maxx on the commercial promoting it today, actually. The boy.
Hey.
One of those?
All I'm going to say is this.
I was waiting for one of those.
Hey. I'm going to say this.
Give him a couple.
I'm going to say this. You got to put Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. I feel like, he's the best in the game right now until someone proves otherwise. You got to put Tyreek Hill out there, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. There's so many guys. I can go on and on and on. But defensively, I know Mike has talked about it. He wants to play. I'm not going to say yet. It's not official, but I definitely want to play. So I know there's a lot of guys interested. It's in 2028. So, for me, that's something I definitely want to be a part of. I want to be, Olympic, get an Olympic gold. That'd be insane. Even though I'm a D lineman, I could go out there and find a way to help the team win. If that's rushing the passer, if that's dropping a little, Tampa hook drop, bringing all-time energy, whatever I got to do. I'm definitely down for that. But yeah, defensively, you put if they include D linemen, just chasing the quarterback in general, put me, Myles Garrett, Micah, TJ, and Nick Bosa and all of us just have us chase shit down from start to finish, and I feel like that alone is gonna literally just make the other team quit. So
Uncle Rico
yeah, just straight Uncle Rico, huck this
Gardner Minshew.
hucking the
imagine?
pork chop at Napoleon's head. That's literally what I imagine happening. It's gonna be crazy.
Can you imagine the team from Turkey has like all you guys over there rushing them and shit? They would just be shitting their pants, dude. They would have five
legitimately
absolute animals chasing them down like just all right, we're good. Yeah, we're not playing football here.
No, it's gonna be crazy.
Did it.
Yeah, it's like the dream team came in, they just literally stacked the team and just said, fuck it, try to beat us. And honestly, that's what I feel like our mentality is going to be going into it. It's going to be in LA, so it's not that far of a travel. We're going to have the whole crew. That's something I definitely, want to be in and definitely plan on being in. So, yeah, we just put the best team together, go out there and just fucking dominate.
Get gold.
We need that. We need that back in the good old USA.
I want a big gold Olympic medal. That shit would be legendary, bro.
Yeah.
My question is how do we get some contact sports? I don't care. I mean, I know they have like wrestling and like things. How do we get some contact sports in the Olympics?
Honestly, no.
It's just football is the only one that's not.
Yeah, football is not just.
Rugby,
there's boxing. There's some hockey.
Let's be honest.
They need to put some MMA. Honestly, that's what I think. So what's next too? That's another. That's an Uncle Dana call. Put some MMA.
Okay.
What? That
remember
would
we
be
were talking
insane.
about NIL with MMA before. Let's talk to him. Dana, business plan, proposition for you.
We got a few things we got to talk to Uncle D
What were you
about.
saying before that? Let's be honest about him. What?
Oh, it'd be a crime scene if we were playing contact with these guys.
Yeah.
And when I say these guys,
USA versus Canada.
I just mean the world, everyone. The world, it'd be a crime scene. We do this. It's just a bag.
It would be bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's exactly what I want.
you just die. Yeah, if it
They don't
was
even have the
full
same
contact,
food as us over there. I mean,
Yeah.
like we got steroids in our food. It's not even fair.
It's like this ain't the Pro Bowl bit.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not walking through two-hand touching.
No, we're straight. We're just gonna
coming
run
for
the
it all.
fucking. Yeah, honestly, bro. Just literally play like Stanford with Toby Gerhart back in the day and just run power every single play and just dominate.
Mike
It would be
Allstott
no,
type shit.
literally straight Mike Allstott and just stack the O-line and D-line.
4-6 on like defense.
That would
It's a
fucking
wrap. No, literally
Just
6-1. Just put fucking
Yes.
Roquan Smith at linebacker and just 6 of the best D linemen and just fucking destroy people.
And me,
Brian
Darren, and
Dawkins
Broden
back.
behind everybody else.
Yes,
Bring
it
Brian
doesn't
Dawkins
matter.
back for one play over the middle.
I was gonna say, just
One
fucking
lollipop.
call Ray Lewis, put him in a pair of shoulder pads. He'll go out there and fuck some shit up.
God.
Speaking
No
of dropping
question.
in coverage, TJ Watt dropped into coverage today and had a pick. Do you like dropping in coverage as a DN, or do you like to do what you're good at? Like, is that like foreign territory for you? Not you specifically.
Are
But
you trying
like
to say I'm
DNs.
not a good dropper? What the fuck?
I
are you
think
trying
you're a
to say,
great
bro?
dropper.
That's
I think
fucked up.
Also, we used to go to the people don't
Yeah.
know we used to go to the rec
Fake.
and hoop it up with people against basketball players. So show some respect, athletes.
I don't know what that has to do with dropping in coverage, but I will say no. I don't.
Athlete.
Prefer to drop in. I guess so, but I don't prefer dropping in coverage. I think everyone knows that. But if I have to do it, I will do it, and I feel like I do a pretty good job of it. But yeah, my job title is stay in the backfield. You know what I mean? I don't like dropping backwards. I like being in their backfield, 100%.
Word.
All right, we got one more question from. All right, we got a question from Blaze Fatties. All right, UFC walkouts. I'm sorry, UFC walkout song an opponent from any era.
No, great question.
Question mark.
Shit. Oh shit.
That's why I asked
this is-
it, but I had to overcome the name.
I love that. No, I
Yeah.
love that question. For me, it would have to be a Chief Keef song. It would have to
Right.
be either Macaroni Time.
Blah.
Like literally, but I would make Dana be like, listen, Dana, I'll give 10% of my purse to you if you allow me to bring out a rapper with me as I come out the tunnel, because in the UFC they don't do that. Boxing, I seen Chief Keef come out with Gervonta Davis to Love Sosa. It was the most lit thing I've ever witnessed. But I would tell Dana, I'm like, listen, you could take that 10%, but I need fucking Chief Keef with me, and we're coming out to Macaroni Time, and it's gonna be a fucking riot in that place.
And he
my
needs to bring some of
opponent-
his entourage.
I was gonna say his whole entourage, Ball Out, Tato,
Yeah.
everybody. But who would? What was the second question?
Who would you
would be
fight,
my
though?
opponent?
Yeah, from any era.
Ooh. shit.
It's got to be a big boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
It's like, yeah,
it's
let me pick
not
Brock
a
Lesnar.
easy. Yeah, let's take
Chuck
Brock.
Liddell, let him
Yeah, Chuck.
break my chin.
Yeah, I feel like I would.
John Jones.
You got to
See
give
what
me
you
the.
got.
I mean, I feel like I don't want that.
I mean, don't shoot for the top.
All due respect, I don't
either.
need John Jones yet. Maybe like a Mark Hunt. Like he's a stand-up guy, could possibly knock you out. But I feel like just keep my distance, work on my box for a couple years before I go in there. Just keep my distance and wear him down and get him tired, and then just go for the finish. So yeah, I'll come out to some macaroni time, and then I feel like Mark Hunt would be a fun matchup.
Yes.
All right, y'all, this is the Rush segment of the show. We got 3 Rushmen of the week. We got to show our love all around the league, so this is what we do. Last week, had some great interactions. The boy Sam Hubbard, shot me a follow on the IG, showed his respect. So, this is what we want to do, get back to the guys. Not only, the recognize the big names, but also the guys that are doing the dirty work and deserve some respect. So, this week, we got 3 great Rushmen. At number 3, we're going to start it off, Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's made a couple Pro Bowls, I believe 1 or 2. But he's a guy on that Eagles D-line that doesn't get talked about enough. Obviously they got Hassan Reddick, they got Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. They got ballers on ballers. But this dude right here, Josh Sweat, is consistent. He's always fucking winning his rushes. He's just one of the more overall guys, that doesn't get talked about enough because he's a quiet dude. Doesn't talk much, doesn't say much, doesn't do crazy celebrations. But he's an absolute baller, and he just gotten better and better as his career gone on. This week he had 2 tackles, 2 sacks. Obviously playing Miami, they got a crazy good offense. A lot, bring a lot to the table. But him getting 2 sacks against that O-line and that system is obviously something that's not easy to do. So Josh, big shout out to you, bro. Got a ton of respect for you. We met a couple years at the Pro Bowl. A couple years ago, the Pro Bowl. Got a ton of respect for your game. So number 3, Josh Sweat, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, some call him Matabikes. His name is Justin Matabike. Big boy. D tackle from the Baltimore Ravens. This dude is a baller. He is a baller. He doesn't get talked about enough. He's constantly disruptive. And he's just making plays. He's one of those guys. He's a little undersized for a 3-tech, but he is strong as an ox. He's got some good pass rush moves. I feel like he plays the run and pass at a high level. Today, had 3 tackles, 1 sack, a forced fumble. He's just out there making plays consistently. I always see him, even if I see the highlights from Red Zone, I always see Justin Matabike making a play. And he's one of those guys I've seen from afar. I got a ton of respect for him. He doesn't get talked about enough, but I got to give my respect to my 3-techs, because 3-techs, without them, the edge doesn't work, the whole D-line doesn't work. So, Matabike, big amount of respect for him. Obviously, he's over there with my guy, Chuck Smith. He's also, helping out with the rush, the rushman over there. Chuck Smith, that's my G, my OG, absolute legend. So, Matabike, you're number 2. And then number 1, this dude had a crazy, crazy game. I seen the stats after the game. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Myles Garrett. It's pretty simple and playing one of the best in the game. Got a ton of respect for him. We've been the 2, starting ends in the Pro Bowl the last 2 years. We had a lot of conversations. We grew up right down the road from each other. He went to Arlington Martin. This dude looked like he looks now in high school.
He's an action figure.
Freak. He's an action figure. He's a creative character. So I got so much respect for Miles. He's a student of the game. He loves football. And we have great conversations every time we chop it up. So big shout out to Myles Garrett. He had 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a batted pass, and a blocked field goal, jumping over the line and blocking a field goal, which is nuts. Myles Garrett, one of the best complete ends in football. He's an absolute dog. He's one of the guys, I definitely peek at from afar. I got a ton of respect for him, but he's also competition at the same time, because I know he wants what I want. And it's just that healthy competition you want. We got nothing but respect for each other. And you just see this guy, absolutely terrorizing people. And, like I said, I can say it a million times, but I got the ultimate respect for him. He's a baller, a Texas boy. So big shout out to Myles Garrett, your number 1 rushman of the week. And that is it for this segment. Cleveland.
Sir.
Cleveland, baby.
I know Darian wanted to throw that in there, but yeah,
Come on.
big shout out to the boy, Myles Garrett.
Come on.
Not scared.
Cleveland.
Perfect.
He said, "Bitch, I'm from Cleveland."
Bitch, I'm from the
Cleveland.
land.
From the
All right, y'all, that's all we got for this week's edition of The Rush with my brother. Brogan Roback is my co-host. DT, Dustin Creel in the building. I just got to say, we love you guys. The fans, y'all are showing out, showing up, supporting us at the highest level. Obviously, this week we didn't get the win, but we're going to show up regardless, of the outcome because we told y'all from the start, we're going to come no matter win, loss. We're going to show up and we're going to be there and give you all the behind the scenes and, under the helmet, view of what we got going on over here at The Rush. So I appreciate you guys, all the fans. Like, subscribe, comment below. And also, we are now on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So if you're driving in the morning, headed to work, put that shit on. Put The Rush. You go on Instagram if you want to watch a little reel, pull up The Rush. Anything you're doing, pull up The Rush, man. We're on all platforms now. We appreciate all the love. And like Brogan said earlier, okay, just secret.
Put that shit
Put that
on.
shit on. Yeah, we're not doing that over here. But anyways, we are on all platforms. We appreciate you guys. And like Brogan said earlier, 10,000 subscribers. Comment, like below. We got 2 signed Maxx Crosby jerseys, 98 Las Vegas Raiders coming y'all way. So we appreciate you guys every single week. It's an honor to be here. We got my boys with me. This is how we do it. We appreciate it. That's episode 4. We're out.
It's up.
Peace.
It's up.